4,000 orders have been placed just this season already for the 3 pieces of the Echinacea Pollynation Golden Summer Mixed Live Plants. That's a mouthful.
Yes.
That is a title if there ever was one. But we're talking vibrant color. We're talking coneflowers, which I love. You know why I love these plants so much is because it looks like they're reaching and straining for the sun.
I know.
And I think it's so powerful to see. $29.98. You get pinks, you get yellows, you get oranges. $9.99 on an easy pay. Now these are plants that are and flowers that are native to North America, correct?
Yeah, a lot of people are really interested in native plants because they are ones that are going to be successful all over North America, which these will definitely be. Pollination, that's why the name. Golden Summer Mix is because they have this fabulous mix of bright summer colors, that fuchsia, the bright golden, and the bright orange. You're going to get all three for a great price, and these have been flying out the door. In fact, I keep coming back and ordering more for my own garden from my own collection because you just can't get enough of these. They add like a blanket of color wherever you put them in the garden. They are very drought tolerant. They are very heat tolerant. They are very, very low maintenance, no deadheading required. They will get to a really good size this summer, although these are a perennial, so they're gonna come back every year, and you don't have to dig them up and bring them in the house or put them in a paper bag, just leave them out in the garden, because as they die back and the petals, you know, turn brown and it looks like it's time to cut them back, the large cones at the top, these little bulbs right here, are full of seeds for all of your wild birds that stay behind in the winter and stay in your yard.
So cool.
So this is a really great way to keep interest in your winter garden and also to feed the birdies, and don't forget to fill your bird feeders, because that's how those little birds survive, by constantly heating up their bodies by eating all the time. So this is a really good thing to have in your garden.
Can that be my excuse?
Well, you know what, when people say you eat like a bird, that's kind of like an insult,
like,
because
excuse
birds
me.
eat constantly. Not the opposite. But I love how big these get. So these are actually going to get 2 feet tall and wide. So they will get to about half this size this summer. They'll get to their full size next summer, and then they're going to keep coming up every year with all these gorgeous colors. Again, zone 4 through 9, so practically all over the country. And honestly, these are so heat tolerant. I think if you live in 10 or 11 or in the Arizona desert or someplace where it gets really, really hot, just make sure that these are in a pot so you can bring them into the shade during the hottest part of the day.
Okay.
Because, you know, they are drought tolerant. It's really hard to grow flowers when the temperatures are 120 every day. But the secret is to give them a break from the sun. So just make sure they get plenty of water and they get shade.
Okay.
But for most people, these are going to go great in any sunny spot in the garden.
Okay.
The other thing about these is, yes, they are pollinator magnets, so you're going to get lots of bees and butterflies. And also, this Echinacea variety blooms the first summer, as I mentioned. So remember, with a lot of the Echinacea you order or buy that is a different version, you have to wait till summer number 2 to see much activity. You're going to get a lot of leaves. But typically you have to go to the second season to see the flowers.
Okay.
So these are going to give you lots of flowers this summer. And these are a summer flower, you guys. So I did get a note on Facebook from one lady who said, I think my Echinacea's dead. There's nothing happening yet. I live in zone 5. I said, well, zone 5 is a little colder here than even in Philly.
Zone 5. I have to refer to the map.
We're in zone 6 here.
We're in 6? Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
But if you are in zone 7, 6, 5, these are still sleeping. If you planted these last year, you're not going to see activity on these until early June, and you might see them start, the leaves growing, but the flowers come out in June, just like the hibiscus.
Okay.
And then these are going to be all summer long. You'll get 5 months of flowers. You're going to get flowers through the fall. And then, as I said, don't cut them. I mean, if you want to cut them back, you can. You can cut them down to like 2 inches above the ground. But if you want to help out the birdies, just leave them.
Well, it just feels like
cut them in the spring.
Year round, you're going to receive guests and visitors and feathered friends. When they're in bloom, you're going to see the butterflies and the bees and the hummingbirds. And then when the petals fall off and you still have that middle part, then you're going to get the birdies.
Well, and it also gives the bunnies a place to hide from the hawks. And it's just I like having not a totally bare, flat winter garden.
Yeah.
I like letting my you know, exotic grasses turn brown and they stay there, and you know, flowers like this, I don't cut them back.
There's like
and then you tidy everything up in the spring when it's time for all the new stuff to grow.
There's a sense of like wild abandon to these flowers.
Well,
that
these
I
look
love
like
so
a wildflower
much.
garden.
They do. I love it.
But they are a little more tidy. They are self-seeding too, so if you, again, leave those seed pods, you're going to see other little patches of echinacea starting to grow here and there, which is great, like a little bonus for you. And, you know, again, containers or in the ground. So in a container, these will withstand temps of -20.
Whoa.
So very cold hardy. So don't worry if you live where it gets really cold and they're in a pot. And do you have to bring the pot inside? No. If you want to, just maybe move it closer to the foundation of the house to protect it from the wind. But these can stay out to pretty cold temperatures, even in a pot.
Strong little fellas, aren't they?
They're very hardy.
Yeah.
And again, native plants is the way to go if you really want a lot of success in your garden, and if you're just starting out trying something new, because these plants are born and bred in North America. They're very familiar with it here. They like to be anywhere pretty much in this country.
Now you're getting 3 of these,
You're going to
correct?
get 3 of these.
This times 3.
And these are going to, this right here will go to about half this size in these big pots this summer. So this is ready to kaboom, go when you get these. And remember, you're not going to see, sometimes you might even see a flower or 2 on your shipping sample when you get that.
Okay.
But you'll get 3 pots. You'll get 1 of each color. They should be marked for you. But if not, you know, you'll have a surprise. Oh, that's the pink one. But they will get really
so you're
big.
getting one
and you
of
don't,
each color, though,
one of each
correct?
Color.
A pink, a yellow, and orange.
Yes, and then you are, you know, if you're in the garden, planting in the ground, be sure and mix in some really good garden soil. Just, you know, again, tips for gardening. What's important? The soil's important, the sun amount is important, and the water amount is important for your success. So if you're planting in the ground, don't just dig up some rocky clay soil, loosen it up, and put a plant in there. You need to go to the garden shop and get some garden soil and mix that in with your whatever's the ground you have in your yard, because that includes the nutrients for your new plants, and they'll be very happy if you do that. If you're putting in a pot, be sure and switch out your potting soil every year. People have a big question about this. Can I reuse last year's potting soil? You guys, at the very least, you need to dump out half of it and add half a pot of new soil and mix it all together. Because the plant that grew in that pot all last summer used up a lot of the good stuff out of that soil.
Okay.
So it's really not fair to the new plant you're planting to use last year's soil. So you want to either throw it into a compost pile or out into the garden and put a whole new pot of soil, or at least do halvesies if you're doing flowers in a pot. And then make sure that you, before you plant in the ground or in a pot, water the plant in its little container before you plant it. Put water in the pot as well, and then put the plant in the pot, cover it up. Now your soil's nice and moist and the roots are going to be very happy.
So you water it in this first.
Water this pot
without the plant in it.
Then you put this in the pot and then wait about a week and give it some fertilizer.
This is how I need it to be explained to me, step by step by step. And I love it.
And it's all in the growing guide. If you guys forget what I just said, on this page, on the inside, this page on this side is going to tell you all the things I just said.
Perfect.
The back paragraph at the bottom is going to tell you specific things about this plant. And also the inside page will tell you specific things up here about the zone, how to plant it. So don't throw this away. It's a really good little review, even if you're an experienced gardener.
Even like year after year, just like keep a little drawer with all of your little growing guides for all of your plants. So you can reference come next season and next spring.
Well, because these perennials, you'll have them for many years, and you know, you can always look back on this to see what you should be doing. So anyway, these have been popular. They're super easy. They give you a big wow of color, and I think you know, they're going to benefit anybody's garden pretty much anywhere in the country.
And benefit all of our pollinators and all of our birdies in the winter time. You're getting 3 actively growing plants, as we saw a little bit earlier. 1 of each color. You're getting a pink, you're getting a yellow, and you're getting an orange. So these really beautiful sunset, vibrant colors that I love. They just make your heart sing. And you're getting all 3 shipping for free, which is why one of the many reasons, there's a lot of reasons to shop shop for your plants, your live plants here at QVC. But shipping for free is, you know, the cherry on top of all of it.
That's right.
$29.98 for all three. It's M95032. Before we go, can we talk about your warranty one more time?
Yes, you guys, we want you to be happy. We want to help you along the way. Please ask questions, call us. Post on my Facebook page any question you have. Nothing is too basic. But if you do find that your plant is not being happy, not surviving, you're not happy with how it looks, you have a 90-day return policy on annuals, and you have a 1-year, I don't mean return policy, I mean replacement policy on annuals, and then a replacement policy on your perennials for a year. So just let us know and we'll send you a replacement.
Perfect.
We want you to be happy, we want you to be successful.
Well, thank you so much, Carolyn, for joining us for